Well, first of all, my name is KRS1, knowledge reigning supreme over nearly everyone. I'm also called KRS the One because I seem to be the first in hip-hop at a lot of things. And I don't need to run down the stats. Go Google it and figure it out. The state of hip-hop, what is it right now? It's 2013. We just passed the winter solstice, December 21st, 2012. Of course, it was predicted to be a rough time for the planet. People are taking their predictions from the Mayan calendar, from the Hopi calendar, from the Egyptian calendar, that, you know, it's the end of the world. And I'm only documenting this state that I'm in right now, as the camera is on me. This is the state that we're in right now. People are just waking up and coming out of the shock that the world did not end, and that there was no reason to go underground or to duct tape your windows. But that doesn't mean that disasters are not still happening on the planet. The world did not end, but the planet still turns, and the people of the earth should still be on high alert for sudden changes in the earth's terrain, oceans, land, etc. I mention this as part of the state of hip-hop because this is the state of hip-hop. The state of hip-hop, I feel today, is one of preparation, one of intense preparation, not fear, not caution, not protection, but preparation, more like weaving a basket in anticipation of what's going to come in the basket. It's like knowing it's going to rain, so you fashion something together to catch water before the clouds even come in the sky. This is the state of hip-hop, preparation. And what are we preparing for? We're not just preparing for disaster. We're preparing for good times. You see, a lot of people say, oh yeah, we want freedom, justice, equality. We want peace, love, unity. We want health, awareness, wealth. We want these things, but we don't prepare to receive them. So when they actually come, sometimes we miss them because we don't even recognize them. But a lot of times we do recognize the blessing falling on us, but we don't have the basket ready. We didn't weave the right clothes. We didn't have the bucket ready there to catch it. This is where hip-hop is right now. We have such an opportunity coming our way. Such a rainfall is about to come our way. And we have to prepare our basket to catch it. And so the state of hip-hop now, and let me even go further, what is it that we're going to catch? We're going to catch health, love, awareness, and wealth. That's what we're about to catch. Because this has been the affirmation for 40 years. Actually, the affirmation has been peace, love, unity, and safely having fun. But these are the effects of good health, loving relationships, awareness, and wealth. Not riches, but well-being. So this is the first, the philosophical, cultural part of the state of hip-hop. But even as I speak to you right now, what is the state of hip-hop right now? Hip-hop today, in lowercase letters, lowercase h, lowercase I, lowercase p, dash or space, lowercase o, lowercase p. That hip-hop is now been reduced to a job. People do not approach hip-hop anymore as a state of being. It's now a way to quickly get money or to become famous. This has led people to approach the elements of hip-hop, rap, breaking, graffiti art, DJing, beatboxing, as jobs, as forms of lifetime employment. And even though they are great forms of lifetime employment, breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing, this wasn't the original intent of these arts. This wasn't the original intent of why you even do these things. And so the state of hip-hop today has to become one of returning to being as opposed to, jobbing. if there's such a term, employing, fighting to be put to work, this kind of thing. Only seeing the value in something based on what it can do for you. The only way you could see something of value is based on how you can use it. If you can't use it, you don't choose it. That kind of mentality is what hip hop has become and needs to get away from, needs to mature from. Now, like I mentioned, that was lowercase hip hop in lowercase letters. Capital H, lowercase I, lowercase p, space, capital H, lowercase o, lowercase p. That hip hop, cultural hip hop, is in great standing. Breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing is exploding all over the world. More and more people are doing it. More and more people understand it. The average Joe in the corner will tell you, that ain't real hip hop. That's real hip hop. We didn't have that before, just in our first even 30 years of creation. We didn't have that. So coming into this now, these are the states, I would say, of hip hop. I'd put one more final piece on that. The states of hip hop, or the state of hip hop. The final state of hip hop is the word itself, the state of hip hop, the country or nation of hip hop, the tribe of hip hop. It's this mind state that I think is the total liberation and preservation of hip hop. This is its total freedom, and this is its total preservation. When we actually rise from the level of just doing hip hop and rise to the level of being it. We leave the level of just doing hip hop and we rise to the level of being it. And once you are it, then you can claim nationality, you can claim ethnicity. And this is where we need to rise to. Hip hop needs to become a state, a city state, nation state, whatever it is. But it needs to be recognized as a sovereign. This is also the continuation of the civil rights struggle. The civil rights struggle, you know, Kwame Ture, or better known as Stokely Carmichael back in the 60s, Black Power, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, I'm actually thinking of Medgar Evers, you know, the Black Panther Party, the seminal figures that we think about when we think civil rights. Most of them came to the conclusion that civil rights needed to evolve into human rights. And most of these leaders were taking their struggle globally. So we see today what hip-hop's purpose and meaning could be in that sense, to continue the civil rights struggle toward the human rights struggle. And when you look at the human rights struggle, it's not civil rights anymore, it becomes civilization rights. The right to establish your own civilization, to live free as one would choose. We have to test the limits of our freedom, or we really don't know to what extent we are free and to what extent we are still being oppressed. I think if we started our own nation, you would definitely test the limits of your freedom. You would see what other people are willing to tolerate of you and how other people really respect you. As long as you're under somebody else's foot, under somebody else's law, under somebody else's holidays, under somebody else's calendar, somebody else's way to die, somebody else's way to be born, somebody else's way to get married, as long as you're under that, you're not free. We could talk freedom all day and all that, but as long as you're under someone else's tradition, this does not mean to not respect another person's tradition. That's different. That's being a total human being. But I'm talking about, what is your innate tradition? What is it that wakes you up in the morning? What is it that you strive to be good at? Whose opinion matters to you? What community do you seek the respect of? This is your real culture. You may be black, white, whatever, Asian, Latino. It doesn't matter. Whatever your allegiance is to, that's your real nation. That's your real tribe. For me, my allegiance is with hip-hop. I know I'm African American, and I'm proud of that. I have a rich African American history, some of which I put on record. But if I really think about the innate essence of my being, who I really am, well, I didn't call myself African American. I was born into that title. Even my own name of Lawrence Parker, Lawrence Chris Parker, that name was given to me by my loving mother. But if I'm ever going to be free, I'm going to have to name myself. I'm going to have to live according to principles that I've created for myself. I'm going to have to join into a community or seek the honor and respect of a community that honors and respects me. Well, for me, that criteria is hip-hop. And this is what I call the state of hip-hop, which is actually the state of hip-hop, the city-state of hip-hop, hip-hop as a sovereign nation. Hip-hop is magnificent. Hip-hop is the greatest social movement, I believe, of the last 20th and 21st centuries. This is the greatest movement ever. And this, I can't say enough about hip-hop. And here's why. This is what you're not getting in mainstream media. First of all, hip-hop is a human skill. Let's just start right there. Beyond being a multi-billion-dollar industry in a time when the music industry is still collapsing, not just that. Not just the fact that people around the world, all cultures, love hip-hop. Besides that, and I don't mean just rap, I mean breaking, MCing, graffiti, art, DJ. People love hip-hop. I'm talking about, here you have a movement that is wedded. It comes from the actual innate essence of humanity itself. Hip-hop is a human skill. Hip-hop is one of the last things that humans can do without plugging into a wall. Today, in our societies today, with the amount of technology that's going on, the vast speed by which technology is advancing and becoming into itself, it is always good to know that hip-hop is around that promotes the use of human ingenuity over technology. What do I mean by this? I mean, breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing. Breaking is dance, MCing, speak, graffiti art, writing, DJing, cutting, mixing, and scratching. Not the turntables, but what you do to the turntable is DJing. In fact, if you look at DJing from a paleoanthropologist's point of view, the cutting, mixing, and scratching of early humans is what creates everything from fire to clothing to agriculture. The cutting, mixing, and scratching. This is early human. Speech, early human. In fact, beatboxing, making music with your bodies, this is one of the first things humanity did to communicate with one another. In fact, the Buddhists still hold the ancient tradition of sign language as a form of communication. Remember, sign language was the first communication even before speech. So you have beatboxing, a form of MCing, which is just utterance itself, speech. And you have this cutting, mixing, and scratching. Graffiti art is, I don't even want to get into how, matter of fact, it's the oldest human handwriting on earth. Graffiti art. It's called graffiti, what ancient humans actually do. And I can go on, but hip-hop is first a human skill. Hip-hop is one of the last things that humans can do without plugging into anything. I'll keep on bringing and singing until your ears is ringing and steaming, gleaming and dreaming, true I'm seeing with meaning. I could do that all day. I ain't plugging into nothing. That means that hip-hop raises my self-worth because I could do this. I could pop, I could get it, and that's a poor popping, but those who know how to pop and can actually see it. That popping and locking, breaking, up rocking, windmilling, head, all of that, I could do without plugging into nothing. Or I can't do it, but others can do without plugging into anything. Beatboxing. That right there, all day. You could do that. You don't have to plug into nothing. So right away, first, Hip-hop is a human skill. You don't need to plug into nobody's system and draw from nobody's power to express it. Because hip-hop is a human skill, it raises your self-worth when you master it. In addition to that, I said earlier, hip-hop is also a form of lifetime employment. It's not what it's meant to be, but you can approach it as a means of paying your bills, feeding your family, even sending yourself to school. I urge all students that are in college, actually, to take up the art of DJing at the least. Because if you could become a DJ, a good DJ, if you can master DJing, you could put yourself through school. You don't have to come out of school with debt. You could actually pay your way through school, or if you come out with debt, put your degree on the side for a minute and master DJing. The DJing could pay for your degree. It'll pay off your debt. DJs are getting $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 for 2-hour sets, 1-hour set. But you got to be good at what you do. So where would you rather put your time? In something that is going to put you behind a desk? Something that might not match your actual purpose in life or what your joy really is? Or do you want to put your time on something that may not even be your purpose either? But while you're searching for your purpose, you're traveling, you're getting publicity, fame, and reputation. You're meeting people. You're doing your thing. Be a DJ, and you're making money. Be a DJ, at the least. This is the greatest thing with hip-hop. This is just a little bit of it. I'll give you one more piece, and I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to give you one more piece, and then I'm going to cut it off. Here's what's so great about hip-hop. This is a spiritual piece. Hip-hop is the only spiritual practice on earth that is without sin. I know I sound crazy right now, but I'm going to explain myself. Here it go. Hip-hop is the salvation of the world spiritually. Here's why. Because hip-hop is, first, a new spiritual path. What is the hip-hop spiritual path? Well, first of all, we believe God. And we don't believe that we're outside of God. If God is omnipresent, omnipotent, all-knowing, all-seeing, the Alpha and the Omega, how is hip-hop not part of God? Now, if hip-hop is part of God, or a part of divine intelligence, cosmic consciousness, the love of the universe, then what is our purpose for existing? Why did the infinite mind of the universe, eternal mind, why did it think us up? For what reason? What's our purpose? Why are we here? Well, your purpose and why you're here is always right in front of you. So when you look at hip-hop and you look at it, we're uniting the world. We're actually uniting the world with a language that goes beyond words and talk. We are uniting the world around the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the I Have a Dream speech, where he says men and women are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Nowhere else in the world do you see that but in hip-hop. Nowhere. It's not being practiced nowhere but in hip-hop. So right away you see we have a spiritual mission as well. Hip-hop is the salvation of the world. Why? Because it's innocent. What makes it innocent? We are not in control of ourselves. We don't have our own land. We don't have our own temples yet. Our own schools, our own courts. How can you blame a person? How could you judge a person who is not free to live their own selves, live their own lives? Either we're oppressed and can't be judged, or we're free and can be judged. Only free people can be judged. Now, of course, I believe in my freedom. I believe freedom comes from within and comes out. So I accept the responsibilities for myself and my culture. But if you look at this politically, if you look at it spiritually, if you look at it logically, any angle you want to come from, if we do not control our own land, if we do not control our own means of survival, then you can't judge us.